Hey guys, I'm Robin. Welcome to my channel, The Jolly Jogger. If you've seen my content, you know that I haven't posted a long video in a few months. The last video I posted was about my Cork Marathon training, and since then I haven't really posted any long content. I've only posted shorts, so you have been able to keep up with what I've been doing, but nothing in detail has been shared with you guys. So I thought that I would do this video today to just give you guys a little detail to explain what happened since my last video and where I am currently in my running journey. So this is probably going to be a two-part series because I've got a lot to share with you guys. I've even taken notes so that I make sure that I don't digress too much because there's just so much that happened. So, anyways, the last video I posted was about my Cork Marathon training. So, I did the marathon in June this year. It was absolutely phenomenal. I managed to cut 10 minutes off my personal best from the year before, and I am absolutely delighted with the results. I think it went perfectly. I think the training that I put in paid off, and it really added to the experience. Now, the people were incredibly friendly. The crowds, the people who were running, I made a few friends along the way. It was probably one of my best race experiences ever. I really, really had a good time. But I think that a large part of why I enjoyed myself so much was because I actually put in so much effort with my training. And that is all thanks to Coros. If you've seen my previous videos, I've spoken before about the Coros app and how I got a training plan from that. Now, I stuck to that plan as religiously as possible. I mean, there were obviously times where I would have a bad day and I just wouldn't go and do what's on the plan, but I stuck to it as much as possible outside of those days. And it was phenomenal. It worked out perfectly. It's definitely something I'll be using for every major race I'm going to be doing. I think the fact that I have the Coros Pace 3 watch means that the watch actually knows me a little. So it helped me come up with a plan that, I mean, I gave it my target. I said I wanted to complete the marathon in 3 hours and 40 minutes, which is 10 minutes less than I did the Dublin Marathon in the previous year. So I gave it my target, and it just, I think, took all the information that it already had on me, and it devised this plan that was like really perfect for me and my level. So it was incredible. Another thing that I think really helped with the experience was I focused a lot on fueling and getting that right. I didn't get it perfectly because I still think that I didn't take enough gels during the marathon, and I lost a little bit of steam at about kilometer 35. But and I think I might have even been able to do a little better. I think if I had just gotten my fueling perfectly, if that's even possible. But anyway, so I did much better than I did in the Dublin Marathon, but there's still a lot of room for improvement, and I'm really looking forward to getting that like properly under control. I think that's gonna make my marathon experience and time go like from here to here. Note how I just went from here to here and not here, because here is like 3 hours, but that's a dream for another day and another year. Anyway, so that's what happened with the Cork Marathon. It was absolutely lovely. One of my favorite race experiences of all time. Definitely something I'll do again. And then just Cork was a beautiful place. It was my first time going there. The people are so friendly. Oh my goodness, the people are lovely. We went to a little town called Kinsale. I've got that right because there's a Kinsale close to where I am, so I just had to make sure that I call it the right thing. Kinsale, really, really beautiful seaside town. We had a bite to eat, and it was just absolutely lovely there. I ate a lot that weekend. So the marathon was on Sunday. We went to Cork on Friday. I ate a lot, and that I think was really good for me and helped with my marathon performance. And then another thing that was fun about Cork is I discovered the middle aisle in Lidl. Now, if you are in Europe, I think Lidl is all over Europe. I think it may I speak under correction, but I think it may be a German store. So if you're in Europe and any part of the world where they are Lidl, I think they might even have in the US. I'm not, you know what? I am not sure. But point is, I discovered the middle aisle. Oh my goodness. I think okay, I bought a foam roller from the middle aisle, which was actually really helpful and useful, especially for after the marathon. And I still use it to this day. But then I just discovered a whole bunch of other things. There were gardening implements. It was absolutely delightful just walking around a shop and looking at what they have in the middle aisle. If you have a little close to you, is it Lidl or Lidl? I'm not sure. But if you have one close to you and you've never explored the middle aisle, do it. But don't take too much money with you because you will buy anything and everything. I'm sure I bought other bits. Oh, I bought pajamas as well. It was absolutely lovely. It was just fun doing something very different and relaxing in a different place, a different environment. So that was actually really fun for me. I thought that it would be difficult running a marathon in a place so far away from home that you have to travel to and it's all different, but it really wasn't. Not even sleeping in my own bed, not using my own appliances, not making my coffee the way I make it normally at home, whatever. I thought that all those things would have an impact on my performance, but it actually didn't. I was actually so adaptable, and I'm actually proud of how I handled all of that because I am a very structured person. So when I deviate from the plan, sometimes it puts me in a frenzy, but that didn't happen at all with this whole experience. So I would definitely recommend it if you've never run a race in another town or another city or another province or county. You definitely should give it a shot because it's so fun doing something that different. One thing I will say, I made sure that I packed the breakfast that I was going to have on the day of the marathon. I made sure that I had that. I made sure that I had the same peanut butter I always have, the same bananas, the same bagels, everything, same honey, because I just didn't want to chance it. I'm okay and adaptable and amenable to trying other things. However, when it comes to food, especially on race day, I had to be very particular about it. I didn't eat anything that I wouldn't normally eat. Like I made sure that everything I ate, even the meal I had before, the night before the marathon, I had pizza, I think it was, and I made sure that I tried having pizza the night before a long run previously during my training. So everything I did in terms of food, I stuck to exactly what I always do because I was just scared that any kind of deviation would upset my stomach. So if you are going to be traveling to another city or county or whatever for a race, I would strongly suggest making sure that you have the same breakfast ready to go on the day, that the night before you don't experiment with anything. Stay away from like super rich food, stay away from curries, anything that could upset your stomach. Just stay away from it. Keep it as plain as possible. Alternatively, just stick to what you're used to. Don't venture. I wasn't adventurous at all. I didn't try anything new. I didn't try anything different. I stuck to what I normally would eat. It was just, in a different environment. So that's one thing I did note that I did, and I'm happy that I did. But yes, it was a lovely experience, and I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to come and tell you guys about it. Anyway, let me see what else. Oh, so after the marathon, my recovery, so the marathon was on the 1st of June, and I think the first week in July, that first weekend in July, I was scheduled to do a half marathon with a friend of mine. Now, I've actually uploaded a short vlog on that half marathon. I'm going to link it in the description if you haven't seen it. It just gives a nice little overview of how that went. It was also just lovely. But anyway, so my recovery was like I had to jam pack it into the month of June, but in the same time, kind of make sure that I'm ready for the half marathon. I don't know if that's wise or advisable. I didn't hurt myself or anything, so I just did it anyway. Um, so I just eased in the week after the marathon. I think I took a few days off, and then only that following weekend. So I took almost the whole week off. That following weekend, went out for like a 20-minute, 15-minute run, even. It was very, very short, very slow, very easy. And then I just built up from there, and I increased my mileage day by day and increased, I could feel, I had to just go by feel. I could feel that my body was ready to push it further in terms of pace, the further along in the training and recovery journey I went. So that was very simple, no niggles, no issues. And then I was happy out on the a half marathon day. I was ready for it. The training was there. I felt good. I did it in a decent time. I had so much fun as well. I had to do it solo because unfortunately my friend fell ill before right before the half marathon, but it was still a lovely experience because I am a solo runner in general. So it wasn't really difficult for me to just adapt. It was quite simple. I was like, oh, I'm alone. Okay. But it was lovely. I got so much footage, which I'm really happy about because I still struggle to have my camera out in public, especially with races, because it's a very confined like environment. So I had my phone out and I recorded, and I was actually quite happy to do that. So I've got that mini vlog up. I'll just put it in the description, link it in the description for you guys. But anyway, that half marathon was lovely. Besides the fact that I think I got sunburn and then also skin irritation from using unfiltered water to wash my face. Long story, I have a video on here about skincare. I'll probably actually put up another video about skincare because my skincare journey has changed slightly since that last video. But anyway, that is besides the point. That's why I have notes, because you see how I digress there. I digress so quick. How do I get to skincare from a half marathon? Hmm. No. So that was the half marathon. It was absolutely lovely. Clontarf Half Marathon. If you haven't done it, there's still an opportunity to do it this year. If you're in Dublin or anywhere in Ireland and you can travel to Dublin, it is in Clontarf. Clontarf? Clontarf. Um, Very nice, the half marathon route. You go along the, what do you call it? It's like close to the sea. It's beautiful. I can't remember the word now. I know there's a word for it. But anyway, lovely race, lovely crowd, lovely atmosphere. There's another opportunity to do it in November, I think. So if you didn't do it in July in the summer, it's a nice, cool day in November. Very nice. Everyone's having a good time. It's not too competitive, which I really like about it, because sometimes you feel a bit overwhelmed by people who are just like, so none of that. It's just really chill, really lovely. So if you want to do it, you should look it up. Okay, let's stick to the notes. What else? Oh, yes. So after that half marathon, I was supposed to, and I did start marathon training for my marathon in October, the Dublin Marathon. I started training in August, but no, I was supposed to start it in August, the first week of August or something like that. But then I went out for a little casual Saturday morning run. I tripped and I fell. And I hurt myself a little bit, but it wasn't anything alarming at the time. So I just delayed my training by a week because I took a week off after falling. Then I got back into running. It was great. Um, I was a bit nervous about falling again. I was really, really paranoid, and I don't remember that from falling last year. But I think what happened last year is I took a longer break before running again because I found out shortly after falling that I'd fractured my wrist, so I had to take that time off. So I think I gave myself time to kind of get over I don't want to call it trauma because that is extreme, but I'm just going to call it trauma, but trauma light. But I had to get over the trauma of falling. Like I was able to get over it. And this time around, I wasn't really able to get over it because I just gave myself that week off and then I went back into running. And the whole time I'm just paranoid. I'm like, oh, I hope I don't fall. I hope I don't fall. So I started my marathon training a week late. I did 2 weeks, I think, of 10 days of marathon training to be exact. And then the 10th day, I felt uncomfortable in my knee. Now, this whole time, because I'd landed on my knee because I wanted to preserve my wrist after last year's fall, I focused on landing a little more on my knee, putting more of the weight on my knee and not on my arm because I thought I'm protecting my arm. And my knee it felt bruised and uncomfortable and it was scratched and it was awful, but it looked worse than it felt at the time. But I couldn't do simple things like going down on my haunches or bending down. And then day 10 of my training, after I went for that run, I came home and I was looking for something on the floor under the bed or something had fallen, and then I went down on my knees and oh, the pain was horrible. And I was like, oh, that doesn't feel okay. But running this whole time, no issues with my knee. Then later that day, I was at work and I bumped into something that same knee, and the pain was so sharp. I was like, no, 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 no. Something is not okay here. So then I went and got X-rays, and there was nothing too alarming, just a hairline fracture in some part of my knee. I don't know the jargon, but the recovery process is 6 weeks post fall, post injury, and then you're good to go again. But now I was into 3 weeks after having fallen, and for 1.5 of those 3 weeks, I'd been running. So I think I did a bit of damage to it. So now I'm still recovering from that, and I haven't picked up marathon training again. So there's a bit of a pause on my marathon training, and I'm devastated, but just rolling with the punches, just gonna do what I can. Um, and yeah, that's just the story for now. I'm hoping I am now currently in the third week. I'm going to give myself another week and a half because I feel like I didn't take that week and a half in the beginning of the injury. I didn't take that first week and a half off. So I'll give myself another week and a half off now, extra, just to recover. And hopefully I can just pick up a little bit of training again. I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to get my PB. My PB this time, the goal was 3.5 hours because I wanted to shave off a further 10 minutes off my time. But that won't be happening. And that's okay because I don't want to put myself under that pressure because I actually have something else on the cards for early next year, which I will tell you guys about soon. So yeah, that's my story. That's what I've been up to this whole time. I've been trying my best to deal with this injury, and I will in part 2 of this video tell you guys exactly what I've been doing, how I've been dealing with this injury, and just overcoming the struggle of it all. But yeah, so that's my story. Thank you so much for joining me today and for watching this. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe and share this with your friends if you want to. And most importantly, don't forget to comment, but only if you have positive stuff to say. Positive contributions only. But yes, so I'll keep you guys posted in the next part about how I am dealing with my injury, and hopefully I can shed some light on how to deal with these things if you are in the same position at any point. Okay, bye.